All right, we are live. Yes, we are live. Hello there, followers of darkness, shadow scavengers, and villainy aficionados. Welcome to another Shadow Council episode, episode 20. I just cannot believe how far we got with this. I'm still surprised. Welcome to another upcoming exciting episode. That this time, of course, we are returning back to the good old-fashioned world of superheroes. And what better way to return it than go back to and talk about the upcoming James Gunn new DC universe. I'm your host, Laura Shadows, as always, and these are my charming associates, members of the council.
Kieran from Film Review Central channel. It is an honor to end the week talking all about the DC universe with our fearless leader and the amazing TK. It's been a great week for me, gaining 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you all. And this is a great way to end it with two awesome people talking about the future of DC. Pleasure to be here.
TK here. Hi.
Also known as I like to call him, the lucky bastard. Okay, now here is the deal. We're going to talk about basically every single news, every single information that so far we got from James Gunn himself, because his holy rule is if it doesn't come to him or Peter Safran, it's bullshit. But basically, we're going to talk about everything one step at a time. We're going to have our own personal thoughts, rumors, and so on and so forth. And who knows we're going to get, because the road is almost infinite. But now, so let's start with this one first, shall we? Now it's like we had a week since the official entrance to the DC universe, which of course, it starts with, which for a lot of people today is surprisingly odd, but like we're starting the DC universe with Creature Commandos. Now, I want to ask you guys, like, how much are you excited for the show?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. DC have always prided themselves on really quality animation and really quality TV shows. To see this begin the universe, it's very, very easy to say, well, we'll start it off with a Superman movie, right? That's what the DCEU did. It's a very safe bet, but they're not doing that this time. They are going down a very different route. I mean, it's classic James Gunn, in terms of style. Absolutely, you can just tell that his style and his creativity is all throughout this movie. For all throughout this TV show. So I'm intrigued. Like you said, it's a massive shock to have a TV show start it off. But they want to do something completely different, and the trailers have looked good. Early reactions and reviews sound like it's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to Creature Commandos. I really am.
How about you, TK?
So I don't know a whole lot about Creature Commandos, but I mean, it's an interesting choice. Like FRC said, I mean, it's starting with a TV show as opposed to a movie, and like anything other than Superman is, I think it's a risk. But I don't know. Hearing FRC talk about it and just like the title of it, I kind of do want to check it out. Creature Commandos. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it plays out. We know James Gunn can. We know he has good creative instincts because of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, like, just basically, Creature Commandos was already a TV show that James Gunn, started writing way before he became co-CEO of DC Studios in general. Like, basically, when he did the Suicide Squad and he did like Peacemaker, he was like, maybe I can do something else. And so, and basically, as James Gunn put it, what better way to start a show is that when you can greenlight it yourself. Since he's the CEO, co-CEO of DC Studios, he basically greenlighted his own show. But again, no, I'm not kidding. Like, that's basically what he literally said in an interview. Like, the best way to greenlight a show is when you can greenlight yourself. Basically, like no one else. And it's so hilarious. But like, it was one of the reasons why I love James Gunn in general, especially on social media. But
Hold that thought.
We have some bearded friend doing some room terrorism. Yeah, but anyway, for me personally, like, I like, just like when I heard that, James Gunn wrote all the 7 episodes, which, by the way, is going to be a 2-episode premiere on December 5th. So when he said that he wrote all the 7 episodes, and again, just from the trailers, you can definitely see James Gunn's like hand in this, from like the violence, from like the dialogue, and like the way how the action sequences are, and like some of the like story parts that were like in the trailer. Like, you definitely feel like, yes, that like you can see James Gunn was behind it. But overall, to kind of like answer your question since you're here, TK, basically, Creature Commandos are basically a Halloween version of Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, like, but unlike the Suicide Squad, who were criminals, these were like, like actual. Oh, looks like we lost a member.
Uh-oh.
I smell sabotage. Sabotage. Anyway, he'll probably come back. I hope so. But anyway, so like I said, Creature Commander is basically like a Halloween version of Suicide Squad, but the difference is, well, naturally they're monsters. They're not like human. Well, okay. I think you can put Dr. Phosphorus in that category as well. I mean, I guess, but the point is that that Creature Commandos, were like, basically based, as you have seen already, from like, classic horror characters, from like, the Bride, from Frankenstein, and well, Nina Mazursky. I always felt like Nina Mazursky was kind of like an adaptation of the creature from the Black Lagoon, in a way. And by the way, her code name is actually, I think, Siren. Her actual code name is. But anyway, basically, now in the comics, they were a group of superheroes that were active during World War II. Basically, just like the original Justice League, Justice Society of America. Basically, so to kind of give you some information. Anyway, where the hell is he? Where the hell is he? Okay, because since we have this sabotage going on, like, kind of. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Some technical issues. My apologies.
Oh, thank God! I thought like we got like some sort of like sabotage or assassination attempt going on.
Maybe that might happen later on in the show. I'm not sure, but at the moment, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm well.
Yeah, okay. But basically, to kind of try to cut my story short, I am very much excited for Creature Commandos. Again, I'm with you on this. Like, it's a very odd start, in a way, because like, you felt like, since you're gonna start this universe, you usually would say, okay, we're gonna start with Superman. So it's an odd start, but I'm still giving it a go, and from what I've seen from the trailers, it got me more and more excited for sure.
I just want to say one thing about it, and yes, it is an odd start. I agree, but I will say this: there's a lot of people out there that do get a little bit frustrated with DC in terms of their structure. We've had 5 Superman movies, nearly. I believe we've got 8 Batmans, 8 Batman films, so many. Yeah, 8. No, 9 Batman movies.
I think.
I
think with Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I think it's 9.
Yeah, so 9 Batman films, 5 Superman films. All of this and that. Nobody wants to keep having these films over and over again. And of course, I love Batman. Superman is great, but it just shows that James Gunn is going against the stereotype, going against the idea. It can be the safe bet, but when has James Gunn ever done anything safe? And I think it just really shows that this is exactly a new dawn for DC. It's a DC universe. If we compare it to the DCEU, their first 2 movies, Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and you're like, brilliant. So you've got the top 2 DC heroes, perhaps the top 2 best superheroes in the first 2 movies, and people were massively on the downslide after Batman vs Superman after 2 films. I think Creature Commandos will give exactly what people want, which is new, different things, new set of characters, use the animated format, TV. I'm in. Good night. Thank you very much.
Okay, then here ends the live stream. Okay, this is it. Okay, we go to bed now, or we go to whatever we go. Okay, this is it. The end.
We think. We think there's been an assassination attempt halfway through. 10 minutes in, we're done. Very good.
No, I mean, yeah, but I mean, to kind of give anyway, I just wanted to add, like, to kind of give you your point about, like, you know, some traditional stereotypes that usually would do with, like, Superman and Batman in this case, which again, adding to James Gunn, for example, he said that, for example, Superman and Batman, like, he's not going to show their origin story, right? And again, his comment is priceless because he just simply put everything together in one sentence, and that is, everyone already knows them. Like, that's it, nothing more. Like, everyone already knows them. That's it. Like, we don't have to repeat them over and over again. And I always like the idea that he created this DC universe where superheroes already exist. You know, like Superman is not the first one, or, you know, or like, you know, the beginning of Batman or the beginning of Wonder Woman. Like, you know, like in this universe, superheroes already existed, you know, which for me personally, I feel like it's a wonderful idea for a start. I mean, just for this piece of information, TK, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I have to think about it a little more.
But if someone had to put a gun to your head and you have to pick, what would it be?
I don't know, I got to think about it a little more. Can you come back to me? I have to think about it a little more. my brain is not working right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a hammer here. Yeah, you know, to kind of give you the, you know, the cure you actually need.
Come back to me on this one. I need to think about it.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's try to go step by step. Okay, shall we? So, okay, so besides Creature Commandos, I think we can all three agree we are pretty excited for this show.
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree on that. Now, for 2025, we're gonna have, you know, Peacemaker season 2, and we're gonna have Superman. You know, and now, as James Gunn said, Superman for him is the big one. Like, that's where literally the DC universe actually, you know, starts. And everything. Now, I want to okay. Let me try to see how can I put this question. Okay, so far, you know, I mean, I believe all of you have already seen like some of the set photos and, you know, all the informations we got from the Superman movie and everything. In what kind of a level of excitement is for you the Superman movie?
For me,
so I'm going to show my age now. No, go on, TK.
For me, I'm really excited about it. I'm curious. Like the one thing that concerns me is they have a really, really, really big cast for it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the only thing that concerns me, is it getting overstuffed. But at the same time, I'm kind of excited to see all those characters in the movie. I don't know. Like, I guess the only thing that concerns me is like it might, or it could, with how big the cast is, it could potentially follow the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in terms of like just being like overcrowded. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with it and just where it goes. I also like what's her name? The person playing Lois Lane.
Oh,
Oh, I'm blanking on her name. The marvelous
me
Mrs.
too.
Maisel.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of interested to see her.
Mm.
And then I'm trying to remember who was. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. That's an interesting choice.
For me as well, definitely.
But yeah, I'm excited for it overall, though.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go with you now. FRC.
Me, thank you, sir. I think people are sleeping on this film. I'm not going to lie. I think, first of all, it's got some massive competition next year in terms of the superhero movies. Fantastic Four, Captain America 4, and Thunderbolts. But they're more on people's minds at the moment because we've got a trailer. We need a trailer for this film, and we need it quick. You know, we've seen nothing trailer-wise. I know we're getting it soon. And I'm really looking forward to it. But I think that's just going to put it prominent into people's minds because everyone's like, "Oh man, there's going to be a Superman movie next year." Showing my age, I've never seen a Superman film in the cinema. Man of Steel, I was 11, so I was just too young to watch it. So I'm looking forward to watching the Superman movie in the cinema, which is going to be awesome. I think the casting looks really cool. The set photos look cool. As TK said, it has got a big cast. So, but I think it definitely needs to do that to kind of flesh out more, stories as it being the first movie in a kind of connective universe. It's got a massive responsibility, even though Creature Commandos comes out first. Do you think a movie, it needs to do what Iron Man did and for the DC universe and really hit the ground running, build up some momentum for the DC universe, and Superman is the best character to do that. However, I think people are sleeping on it a little bit, and until we get that trailer, I think people are going to be massively excited once we see, what the movie actually looks like. Nicholas Hoult, I think, is a good villainous choice. He showed glimpses of that. Obviously, he was in X-Men before, so he kind of played that scientist, and I think he's got such a cool look. And I don't think Lex Luthor's a bad villain to start off. Obviously, I hope that they branch out to more creative villains as time goes on. But for me, I just can't wait to see a Superman movie in the cinema. And this could cause some massive, some massive whirlwind in terms of the superhero movies next year. I did a live stream last week about the 2025 movies I think will gross $1 billion, and I put this one in there because I really do believe this is going to be a massive movie, and a lot of people are going to be very excited for it.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. What you're saying, like, I think like Superman will definitely be when it comes to the box office. Like, I think like the Superman is definitely going to be the one of the big ones when it comes to like earning like over like $1 billion at the box office. Like, I mean, it's for sure. It's definitely for sure. Like, I mean, with everything that was going on. I mean, people just simply got even excited just from the set photos. We got like from certain like when we got to look at the Superman's costume to like people people being happy that the tights are back, basically. That doesn't look like Superman has basically a pair of trousers. Just from that, then like when we saw Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, we saw Hawk Girl, we saw Mrs. Terrific. The only one we haven't seen is Metamorpho, and I'm kind of curious how he's going to look like. Because James Gunn did say, well, the actor who plays him, who by the way played Victor Zsasz in Gotham, just so you know. But basically, he said that his Metamorpho is going to be practical. So I'm really kind of curious because Metamorpho is a type of character that people will either create him through CGI or like use half and half. So him saying, "Oh, it's going to be practical," I'm really kind of curious how they're going to handle this. I really am, But like again, now speaking of the trailer, now there are some rumors going around that it's going to be released in December. Somewhere like in December. That's what they said. At least like a teaser trailer. And some people are saying that it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. But again, those are just rumors. So we have to wait and see because from like till July we have a long way to go. So But again, I do believe, I do agree that with the trailer, I think people's excitement for it, I think like will be confirmed, like officially, basically. I think like the trailer will be a breaking point, basically, with everything that was going on.
Do you think the trailer needs to come out though? Because I look at this in 7 months until the movie comes out. Personally, I need to see a trailer, because how they do the teaser trailers, official trailer 1, official trailer 2. Like, we've seen nothing in terms of footage. I know set photos are massive, but in 7 months we're going to get this film and we saw nothing. I'm not sure it's definitely not a worry, but I just think they need to probably be quicker to kind of release something. But potentially they want the focus to be on Creature Commandos for now, and give each project their kind of spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, with the Creature Commandos, like, they already started with the marketing and the cast interviews and everything, so the let's just say the commercial part of the Creature Commandos has already started. Like, we even have the freaking like Funko Pop figures as well, out there and everything with the like clothing, with clothes and everything, so the marketing is booming for Creature Commandos. But like for Superman, I think like December, I think like December, I think would be the perfect timing for like to release like a little taste of Superman. Basically, like I said, like a teaser trailer, basically, and then like somewhere in March or April, you can release like an official trailer. Basically, what James Gunn and the crew need to do now, I think, like, just release a teaser trailer showing like a little bit of Superman, maybe Lois Lane, maybe Lex Luthor a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to show the story. But just like some brief appearance of some certain characters, and then like finishing off with like okay, I'm just kind of like going like on a limb here, but like, basically, we see Superman in his full glory, and you kind of like, do it with like a Christopher Reeve theme music, basically. Again, there's just me being creative, but you get my point.
Well, the question I have is, well, actually 2 things. The first thing is, with James Gunn, we know from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that he is spot on with his music.
Yep.
So the question I have is, and I'm really big on this kind of stuff, which is, I think that he needs to, for all of the movies in the DCU, but I guess starting with Superman, I think he needs to, first, I think I'm curious to see what music he puts in it. But second, I think he'd be smart to each of the movies get some popular artist and record like a song like specifically for each movie and like drop that like before the movie. I think that'd be really good promo for the movies. I don't know.
I mean, look, just let me start with Creature Commandos. I mean, like, the James Gunn got, like, for the soundtrack, James Gunn got like freaking Kevin Kiner, like, who mostly did Star Wars like soundtracks, and also I think like he also did got the guy from the first like official Peacemaker season 1, as well, so just from that you can see that James Gunn, he's kind of like, knows what he's doing. He's kind of like, kind of give you an idea, just like with the music, what type of Creature Commandos is going to be, basically, like it's going to have that funky, rock and roll kind of like, style, but it's also going to have that, like, as Kevin Kiner would usually do, like that mystical, like gothic, like, monster, like, music as well. I'm kind of going a little bit deeper here, but like, I do agree. When it comes to the DCU movies, again, James Gunn, again, he's gonna be the co-CEO alongside Peter Safran for the DC Universe and DC Studios. So I don't think he will have, like, let's just say 100% creative control for the music, but most definitely he will be the one who's gonna, like, since he's the creative side. I definitely think he's gonna be like this one fits, this one doesn't. Like, I think he'll definitely have the power to choose. That's for sure. So so again, I'm really. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that I think it's based on the projects. It's based on the characters they focus on. I wouldn't imagine the Superman and Batman film to have a strong soundtrack, just because I think it would just look a little bit out of place. But definitely Creature Commandos, you could have like kind of hard rock type of music. Obviously, Peacemaker had in season one. Season one, they're going to carry that on into season two. So I think they'll be a little bit more experimental and creative regarding the music with the TV shows and probably lesser known characters. But yeah, I don't want a Batman film to have like music in and kind of forced from it. I think the soundtrack is used by the scores, and there are some fantastic scores you could do both Batman and Superman films.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, the one thing, now going back to the cast, we as you put it, TK, that the Superman movie kind of feels like overstuffed with characters. Like, I do agree on that, but I think like, because James Gunn, because a lot of people I've seen is James Gunn, asking questions about like, why is there so many people in this movie and everything. And I think that the way how he answered every single comment, I think like the reason why they're there is basically to kind of show the viewers that Superman, is in this world where superheroes already exist. Like they're already active, like, all over the world and everything. So, so again, like I can definitely see the majority of them have like a minor to a cameo role in this movie. But maybe with the exception of Mr. Terrific, but again, it's kind of like a shot in the dark. But the point is that I think like that's the idea why James Gunn did this, because like I said, it's the big one, it's the main start of this universe. So because like, again, if the DC universe needs to continue, like Superman needs to make like a big impression. So
I think they need to get this right. I think they need to get this right for not only the DC universe, but yes, he came up in Batman vs Superman, and they went down that angle. Obviously, what happened to Superman at the end of Batman vs Superman then kind of prevented him, but then they brought him back very quickly. They were trying to build the Justice League, but that whole world was going on for 10 years. We only ever had one Superman movie. I don't think James Gunn wants to do that again. I think there's going to be at least 2 or 3 within this world within 5-6 years. I think you're going to have at least 2 Superman movies within that time. I don't know the structure, obviously, with where James Gunn's going. However, they've got to keep something back. They've got to have something in their back pockets to say, hey, you like the first movie, but I think personally they have to start off with a bang. They have to do something massively different. That's why they're not going to go down the origin story route, because as Lord of Shadow says, we've seen it before. We've seen it all before. Let's go straight into it. Let's forget about all this other stuff. Let's put him in that environment. That would be a great way to start it off, because you've not got all of that build up about him on Krypton, because I think it slows down the pacing of the whole film. You want him in the moment, in the action. I think that'd be great. But I really do think they've got to keep something back, and I think that's something that with such a big cast, what are they saving for? Where's their vision going? But they have to get this one right. It's massive. It's make or break for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like again, for again, I'm gonna have to repeat it. Like I've seen a lot of people being worried that the movie is overstuffed, and when you look at it, it feels overstuffed. But I still believe James Gunn knows what he's doing, and and again, as I said before, like I really am happy that James Gunn decided not to do the origin story of Superman. Because like he said, even for Batman, we already know their origin. It was been shown like millions of times, like how they were created and how they became who they are and everything. And also,
Superman's parents were killed, right? And then Batman he grew up on Krypton, right?
If we're doing like a what if DC universe, then yeah, why not?
Don't talk about what if. That is the worst show coming out in December. Creature Commando, Skeleton Key. I'm looking forward to Crew. What if season 3? I'm just no.
I mean, like I never got interested in that show. Even from season 1, I never got. I mean, I like the animation. Okay, I give it to the animation, but the overall idea, I never liked it. I never thought it was interesting. Anyway, So I'm really hoping that the James Gunn doesn't do a what if. But again, if they try to do a what if, remember, James Gunn said it's going to be an Elseworld story. It's not going to be in the main DC universe. Now the one, and again, before we go to other projects, like one thing I will definitely say, ever since they announced that Nicholas Hoult is going to be Lex Luthor, I was really surprised for that choice. I really was, because to be fair, I didn't see Nicholas Hoult too much in villainous roles, so I don't know exactly how he plays that card in movies or TV shows. But again, Jesus, we have our first comment, everybody. Let's see what it is. It comes for good old Ryan. Hey, dudes, it seems a side of the internet is looking at James Gunn DC with a microscope. You're not wrong about that. People concerned with the trailer need a redo when actually it was James himself wanting it, not Warner Bros. High-ups. Yeah, I know. Okay, I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, like there was a story going around that the Warner Brothers executives or whatever, they were not really happy with the trailer, and basically they were saying no, you need to redo it. We're not happy with it. No, we want something else. And then James Gunn basically, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, James Gunn basically came out and say that's bullshit. Basically, that's not true. If anyone is going to say that it needs to be redone, it's going to be me. So
Legend, Ryan.
I get you. What did you say?
I said Ryan, such a legend.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Oh my God, the dude is amazing. Yeah. So,
well, the question I have about the Superman movie, the question I have is, and I don't. This is where I think Man of Steel, in my opinion, I had a slight problem with this. Is how quickly do they have Lois Lane find out that Clark Kent is Superman? I thought that movie in Man of Steel. I thought they should have played it out more. So that would be my one. That would be my other area of concern with the new movie. Is I'm curious to see how they do that and how they handle that.
Look. So far, we know that James Gunn said that this movie is gonna show Superman is like in his second or third year as Superman. Basically, kind of like his own version of Superman Year One, so to speak. So I don't know. I mean, I personally doubt that Lois Lane in this occasion right now in the movie. I don't think she knows that he's Superman. That Clark Kent is Superman. I personally don't think she does. But again, anything could happen. But so far, personally, I don't think she knows. In my personal opinion. Yeah. Now, okay. And again, we talk a lot about this movie, and again, I'm excited like almost everyone else, but I need a trailer, like you said. I need a trailer to kind of confirm my excitement or interest in this movie. But definitely, it's gonna be one of the winners in 2025. Definitely. Now, going to go ahead.
Can I ask a question? Will the Superman movie? Can you? Obviously, that's the only DC film coming out next year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Is there any of the 3 MCU movies that are coming out that you think is going to beat Superman in terms of critic score, or your personal opinion? So, can any 3 of them Marvel movies be better than the Superman movie in your opinion? Like this time next year, will we sit here and say Superman was as good as these 2, but not as good as that one?
Oh, I think here's the thing. I can tell you right now that Thunderbolts and Captain America: Brave New World, you can put them off the chart immediately.
Fair enough.
Because I think the only movie that could rival Superman, speaking of critics and box office, is Fantastic Four: First Steps. Because that's a movie, just like with Superman, that's a movie that a lot of people have been waiting for a long, long time. So, and again, the excitement, just like with Superman, the excitement that was built behind that movie is also big. So, again, I think like this Fantastic Four, in my personal opinion, is the only movie that could rival Superman. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, TK?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Although I will say from the trailers for Thunderbolts, it actually looks surprisingly good. So I might
It does.
So I might put a little money on that. I mean, if it's as good as the trailers make it look, and it like is because it kind of looks like a Civil War, or not Civil War, it looks like a Winter Soldier kind of thing, like in terms of the feel. And if it's as good as the Winter Soldier was, I could see it rivaling Superman.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there's a good chance I give them that, but honestly, beside, inside all the excitement, basically for all the three Marvel movies, I mean, I would say like the biggest one is for Fantastic Four, definitely.
Yeah.
So, again, in my opinion, I think that's the only movie of Marvel like in 2025 that is gonna rival Superman. Because remember, they're like I think like they're like 1 or 2 weeks separated from release date.
Yeah, one.
So, 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I wasn't sure. Like it was like what, either 1 week or 2. So 1 week apart, which is like again even worse in a way. So it's literally going to be a clash of the Titans, basically. So we just have to wait and see what's going to happen and everything. But I still have trust in James Gunn and about Superman in general. And one of the things I have to also add before I move to other projects, one of the things I also have to add that James Gunn is going to bring to Superman, which is something that we haven't seen, I think, like ever since Christopher Reeve movies, is this like Superman that believes in humanity, in goodness, that is like kind, compassionate, he's not just simply there to stop like like an apocalyptic clash or something, like he will even save, like even like saving a cat from a tree, literally, and when I saw the cover of like when he was talking about, like, if you guys remember that the DC announcement video when he was talking about all the projects, he put a cover of All-Star Superman when he first announced it as Superman Legacy, basically. And I was like, and immediately when I saw that cover, I was like, okay, I think I know what kind of Superman he's gonna bring into the table, And I was like, I was so happy for that. Because we wanted that kind of Superman for a long time. That's a kind of Superman that for me personally was only shown in animation, basically. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever read the All-Star Superman, but it's a really great comic book series.
You by the way, you saying about Superman saving the cat up the tree just reminded me. In the beginning of The Incredibles, when Mr. Incredible tries to get the cat down the tree, and just starts shaking the cat. It just reminded me of that. That's a good start to The Incredibles, actually.
Wow. I don't think Superman is going to be that radical. I don't think he will. Unless he's in a hurry to stop a robbery or something, like Mr. Incredible. Then it's a different story.
Whatever happened to that Frenchman? Honestly, that's the biggest Pixar what if. Whatever happened to the Frenchman?
Well, if you're talking about Bon Voyage, basically he actually survives because there's like a comic book series of the Incredibles, and he actually survives, and he comes later on again as a villain, although he's middle-aged, lost his hair, and has like mustaches.
I am Bon Voyage. It's like, what is going on here? It was brilliant.
Monsieur Incroyable. Oh my god! So good. Anyway, now outside like Superman, we have another project that I was kind of suspecting it's going to come out in 2025, and they actually confirmed it will. And surprisingly, they said immediately after Superman is going to come out. Which was very surprising for me, but that's actually Peacemaker season 2. Now, first and foremost, did you both watch Peacemaker season 1?
Yep.
UTK?
No.
Okay. So, FRC, be careful. We need to be very, very quiet for some spoilers. for sure. But basically, now Peacemaker, you have to admit with FRC, like you have to admit that this is gonna be like a very big experiment for James Gunn because again, he's bringing John Cena with him. He's bringing all the actors from Peacemaker season 1, which was supposed to be set in the DCEU. You know, and basically, did you watch the IGN interview with James Gunn?
Yes.
Remember what he said? Like everything is canon except the cameo.
Yeah.
You remember? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really gonna, so again, what is your, let's just say, how is your level of excitement for Peacemaker season 2?
Yeah, I enjoyed Peacemaker season 1. What a fun, and because that was James Gunn involved, because it was obviously linked to the Suicide Squad. Got to be very careful about which one I talk about. You knew that the Peacemaker character was going to come back, and there was no doubt. For me, looking at the schedule, obviously the Superman movie is going to work, and is going to be great. But I think in terms of the other stuff, I think Peacemaker is probably the next sure bet, just because it is a season 2, because it's got a great following, because John Cena is returning, all the cast is returning, so it's not like you can have to do massive recasts of all these characters. So I think this is another sure bet for DC. Obviously they've got to continue the character right, build on from what was built at the end of season 2. So to me, season at the end of season 1. So I'm looking forward to Peacemaker season 2. Again, I don't believe there's a trailer. I don't believe from what I've seen.
No, there's no. No, there's no trailer. There was only like a very, very brief, like few scenes. You know when Max does like, coming up in 2025, and they show like few scenes of like their upcoming shows.
Yeah, which I'd like. I'd like to see a full trailer. I really would. But at the moment,
me too.
At the moment, I'm really happy with what I've seen so far in terms of, overall knowing about this character, giving the fun. That's where the music is going to completely pop off, and it's going to be fantastic. Especially that intro scene, which is just hilarious. How they keep a straight face with that, it is beyond me. But it is very, very well done, and like I said, it's going to be another sure bet for DC.
Is Mephisto going to be in it?
Is who?
No, we didn't hear you. Sorry, we didn't hear you. You know, I kind of suspect what you said.
Is Mephisto going to be
in it? Let me put it this way. I would say one of his cousins will appear. Do you know who I'm talking about? The FRC.
Yeah.
So one of his cousins will appear, but not him himself. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, that's just like Superman. That's a project that we don't know shit what is going on, from the story or the ideas, like nothing. Like the only thing we know is that James Gunn. The only thing I know is that James Gunn will direct way more or less episodes than what he did in the previous one, which of course was obvious because he started doing it during the filming of Superman. So I kind of get it. But again, the entire crew is back, with the exception a few new cast members that were joined in the project. Man, I can't say too much because again, we don't know anything about Peacemaker. Let's be honest. But the one thing for sure, I mean, do you have seen any set photos?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I can't say I've seen a lot, but I kind of just want to see more, proper, structured content like a trailer. Set photos are all right, but for me, I think it looks very complete when you see a trailer.
Have you seen that picture on the wall, the mural? There were 3 characters on the wall.
Yes, yes, I did see that one.
I have to say,
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, okay. I mean, I have no idea who the third guy is, all in red. But I will say this: I have a feeling like what we saw on the wall. I think like that's gonna be the new outfit that Peacemaker is gonna wear. And honestly, I mean, look, some people laughed at me
Okay.
when I saw this, but when I said that, but like, if he's gonna wear that type of helmet and that new uniform that was shown on the wall, I don't like that new uniform.
I don't know why they do it. They always seem to do it with yeah. No, I agree. Sometimes I really do struggle with costume changes because I'm just like you're changing it for the only reason that is the season 2. You wouldn't change it for any other reason. Why don't just stick to the most simplest one. Obviously he's got his helmets, which I think are always quite cool and shows a bit of range for his character, but he doesn't need a whole new suit.
Yeah, I mean, like if you remember that picture on the wall, like even the helmet looks different.
Yeah, like that's fine. That's fine. I get it because they touched on that in season 1, but not.
Yeah,
not
only that, like even
the
even the fucking bird logo on his chest is like in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I at first I was like, okay, maybe there could be like a flashback suit, but then I've seen a set photo that involves a motorbike, and I was like, oh my god. Like it looks like that's gonna be his new suit. But I was like, okay, I was like, whatever, But like, but hey, it's John Cena. I'm gonna support him, because he was fucking great in the movie and in the show. So I'm gonna support him. But I will say this: I think you know this, but like, there's gonna be a new intro for season 2.
Yeah, that was such a pleasant surprise in season 1, and every single time, there's only a few intros that I watch like all the way through. Sometimes I'll just skip them, I'll be honest. But
no, fair enough.
The two that I watch, I watched WandaVision's. I watched all them intros because they were always quite fun and interesting and different. Arcane, just because I like the song by Imagine Dragons, and Peacemaker. Yep. I never skipped the trailer. I never skipped the title sequence.
Look, okay, I'm just gonna give it. I'm just gonna give it away a little bit. I think like if I think TK will maybe kind of have an idea what the intro is gonna be all about, but like I would say this. Every time when there's the intro, because me and my friend we used to watch Peacemaker season 1 weekly, like every episode, and every time when we watched the episode, every time we saw that intro, we literally like started dancing.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
did you do the same? Did you do the same dance as they did in the video?
Yes.
Oh my god! So you actually went along to choreo. This isn't like a fitness class where they're the instructors and you're like, "Come on, everybody!" Like you literally copied exactly what they did. You didn't do your own moves.
Yeah, but what was the crazy part? It was like fucking grabbing. It was fucking grabbing my friend, like he did, like Peacemaker did with Judo Master.
Right, right. I need video evidence of that. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Unfortunately, we didn't film ourselves when we did that.
You need to do that. You need to do that for season 2. Just saying.
Yes.
Okay. Like, hey, if we have a chance, we're gonna do it. I promise you that. If we have a chance, we're gonna do it. Yeah.
Coming soon. Coming soon on the Lord of Shadows YouTube channel. It'll be a live dance show. Do you really want to taste it?
Taste that. I mean, oh my god! I mean, can you imagine a song from a band that literally went into retirement, and then basically this song in the intro brought them back together?
I know, it's crazy. Because they saw this. That's why they saw that. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, and also, again, I love James Gunn taste in soundtracks, like in all the movies that he did. I love his taste, But actually, which is my favorite song in the Peacemaker? If I started singing, I think you're gonna know what the scene is all about. But there's like monster, be my favorite monster. Come on, breathe me, monster, give me air. Like that song for me rocked in that particular moment. Such a great song.
That's it. I'm trying to think of the song that I liked from it. Actually, I'm going to Google it now while you're talking. Like I can remember it so well.
While he's searching for it, I mean, I'm sorry we're keeping you in the dark, TK. But like, hey, you didn't watch Peacemaker season 1. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. We're not bothered.
While you're looking for the song, we're looking for the song. I'm just going to tell everybody the song that's stuck in my head with it, which has nothing to do with this. There's one song that's been stuck in my head for the past week, and it's "Defying Gravity."
Oh my God.
I can't get it out of my head, and now "Popular's" in my head. So yeah, that's fun. It'd probably be helpful if I would stop listening to the songs, but
again, you've done it to yourself.
Yeah,
you've done it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
The song I'm looking for is 6 Feet Under. That's a good song. I'd recommend it. I'm not singing it. No.
Oh no.
You have viewers. You have viewers right now, Mr. Lord Shadows. If I start singing, you're losing them very quickly. Let me tell you.
I mean, look, if I were you, I would like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'll just go for it.
No. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Goodbye. This is it. Goodbye. No, we're finished. Okay, cutting off the live stream now.
And guess what? Guess what? I've still not been assassinated. Yay!
Yeah. Anyway, so again, we don't know anything about Peacemaker season 2, but like, let's just say you're pretty excited for season 2.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, same with me. Seeing the old band back together, and again, John Cena, like, he fucking nailed that role, like, of Peacemaker, and again, I'm going back to season 1. That conversation that he had about the Dark Knight with that old man?
Yeah.
I'm hoping for this DC universe. I'm hoping that Peacemaker has a conversation with Batman. I'm really hoping he does.
No, what? No, that's not happening.
Hey, with James Gunn, anything is possible. I mean, think about it. Maybe one of the fans sees this live stream, he sent it to him, and he's like, they gave me an idea. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. Who knows? Now, okay, yeah. Moving on. Okay, moving on. So Peacemaker season 2 coming out, which they said immediately after Superman. Now, again, my bet is still going. Like, if they're gonna go immediately after Superman, my bet is gonna be somewhere mid-August or late August when Peacemaker season 2 might be released. I don't know, because I always kind of picture it to be released in the fall. But anyway, now I'm just gonna go like okay. So now I'm going to number all the movies so far that have been officially announced, and we're going to talk about them, basically. So after Superman and Peacemaker season 2, first I'm going to start with the movies. So we have, in 2026, we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We have that coming. Then after that, we have The Authority. We have Batman the Brave and the Bold. We have Swamp Thing. And we have Teen Titans, basically. The movies that are basically next to come after Supergirl. Now, so far, Supergirl is the only one that we got like a lot more information, like, from the casting, from the story and everything, when they're going to start filming, which I think is going to be somewhere early in 2025, January or February.
January.
Okay,
January.
thank you. Okay, thank you. So in January. So now, of all the movies, like I said, after Superman, like I said, all of them I numbered. Like Supergirl, The Authority, Swamp Thing, Teen Titans, Batman the Brave and the Bold. Out of all of them, which ones are they kind of drag your attention or excited are you for?
I mean, Supergirl is going to be good. Obviously, the TV show brought a lot of people into that character. The Flash film had so many problems with it, but I think the Supergirl stuff was decent. She just wasn't featured enough. But it's a perfect casting for me personally. I'll be very surprised if Supergirl doesn't show up in Superman. Like a little, very subtly, like a little tease, potentially, probably an end credit scene or something. Is that been announced?
Actually, there have been announcements that Supergirl might appear in Superman, but as a cameo.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that would be fine. I think the casting's fantastic. And I think
Supergirl. What was her name? What's her name? From House of the Dragon.
Millie Alcock.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I also think she's a perfect choice for Supergirl.
So
even the age is perfect.
Yeah, she just has that kind of like cool look. I think it's a really great, perfect casting. So I'll be very intrigued to see what she can bring to the table. And I'm going to say it. You look at women superhero films have done incredibly well. That first Wonder Woman film is one of the better DC films within the 2010s decade. Captain Marvel, the first one, grossed $1 billion. Shame about the sequels of both of them characters, but I think Supergirl has had a massive prominent, place. Obviously, 5 seasons on the CW. You don't get 5 seasons without a fan base, and seeing that, and a lot of people said that a strength of the Flash movie was the Supergirl appearance. So even though it's a different actress, people want to see that character on screen. So, and they're going to get it in a fully fledged movie. Swamp Thing I'm intrigued by because obviously they did movies, didn't they, in the 70s, 80s. That has to be gory, horror-based, mental as anything. If they don't, then you're going to fall under the problem of like, are you trying to make it kind of like what Venom did when they knocked down the rated R edge of it to kind of try and make it relatable for people, and they're like, well, no, we want this to be rated R. I think you have to make that for a rated R. Any lower, and I think people will not be happy with it. But I think good can take chances. So for me, they're the top 2 at the moment. For me, obviously, Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be amazing. Like, I love Batman, and obviously, but I think the focus right now, after the success of the Penguin, which is a phenomenal TV show, the best show I've seen this year.
Absolutely.
Everyone's focus is on the Batman Part 2, but I think Batman Brave and the Bold is going to do something for the DC universe and add so much impact. So for me, they are my top 3. The other ones, we haven't heard a lot more yet, but as soon as we kind of get announcements coming soon and a kind of a structure then about where all these films are going to release in the order and how the story can flow in and be intertwined between each one, we'll get more of a general idea.
Okay. TK?
So for me, I'm excited for the Batman, the Brave, and the Bold. I'm excited for Teen Titans, and I'm excited for Supergirl. I think those are all going to be good movies. I'm curious with Teen Titans Go, if it's Teen Titans Go, it's going to be a bad movie. No, I'm excited for Teen Titans because I'm curious to see how much of inspiration it takes from the animated TV show, if any. If it follows Teen Titans Go at all, it's going to be a bomb, although it'll be hilarious.
Oh, God.
But one thing, though, I don't think this has been announced. I think I've heard, like, rumors.
Someone clipped that, by the way. That's brilliant. Somebody clipped that. Oh, my God. Oh, that's brilliant. Teen Titans Go.
That was like Oscar worthy. Like, that was fucking cinema.
It was just brilliant how TK just carried on. He was just like, I know what I've just said, but I'm going to carry on, and then remembered what he said. Oh, that was class. That was great.
Anyway, TK, continue.
Okay, so this other thing has been like rumored for years, I think, and I don't remember what the last thing I read about where James Gunn landed on this, but I think this project would be a smart project for him to do, and I think I don't know if he could have. I don't think he could have it like early on now at this point, but and the reason I'm suggesting his character is because I think he could be sort of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like an eyes for the viewer, kind of like somebody who like the viewer, the moviegoer could connect with in the universe. Is I think they need to do a Static Shock movie, because I think like sort of like how the MCU had Spider-Man, and how he was kind of like the person who like a lot of fans connected to, and he was kind of like the eyes of the movie. I think, and the eyes of like the universe. I think that they could do that with Static, so I'm kind of hoping they do that. But that aside, I mean, those Teen Titans, the Batman, and Supergirl, those are the three I'm most excited for. I think out of those three, I think Teen Titans I'm most excited for because I really, really love that.
Okay.
I would like to see if they're going to do in Teen Titans. I don't think they would adapt this guy as a main villain, but I'd like to see him get more time. And I don't know how much they're going to take from the cartoon, but I'd like to see them maybe adapt Red X because I think he'd be really cool.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Now, I just want to say this, that to kind of add to your Teen Titans thing, James Gunn officially confirmed that hilarious. Anyway, basically, to kind of add to your Teen Titans discussion, James Gunn did actually confirm that he actually has plans for Deathstroke.
Ooh.
So you put two and two together, you know where I'm going. You know, we could see Deathstroke in Teen Titans. I mean, who knows? You know, if we see Deathstroke, maybe we could see Terra. I mean, who knows? And anything is possible. And I think, like, you know, I still think if he's gonna bring Deathstroke in the DC universe, I'm really hoping he gives another shot to Joe Manganiello.
Oh, that would
I really hope he gives him another shot.
I could also almost see Ron Perlman as Deathstroke.
Now, yeah, but he's too old.
Oh yeah,
he's too old
to play him. He's too old to play him. I know that Deathstroke in the comics, he's like middle aged, like from like late 50s to early 60s. I know, but you still need someone, you know, let's just say younger to play him. You know, and I think I think Joe Manganiello still can pull it off. Personally, you know. But anyway, so again, anything is possible. So basically, you said Supergirl, Teen Titans, and the third one was Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for me personally, I mean, again, surprise. I'm excited for all of them, all the movies that were announced. But like, if I have to choose between them, I would say my top three priorities are Batman the Brave and the Bold, because I definitely want to see this version of Batman in the DC universe, because James Gunn did say he's going to bring Damian Wayne, his son, as Robin, which means that the Bat family already has been established, you know, which also gives me to another possibility that in Teen Titans, maybe the leader is going to be Nightwing. I mean, think about it. You know, I mean, Robin wasn't the only one who was kind of like the leader of Teen Titans. Also, Nightwing was. You know, so I'm just kind of like making theories right now. So anything is possible. But like Batman the Brave and the Bold, the third choice out of all of them, like the second one, I will definitely. I mean, I'm also going with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, because James Gunn really intrigued me when he said that he's gonna make a movie adaptation of the comic that went by the same name. Which, by the way, if you haven't read it, anyone read it, because it's a really great story. Really great story. So. I'm really cannot wait. I really am excited to see what he's going to do with that. And the third one, which is, oh my God, I almost exploded when James Gunn announced it. And that's the Authority. The Authority. Oh my God. Like, I love the Authority. I mean, they're basically a more violent street thug like Justice League, basically, you know, like, you know, and man, they're such an interesting group. And when he announced that, and again, James Gunn said that The Authority is like a passion project of his. So some people have been even theorizing that maybe that's the next project that James Gunn is going to direct. I mean, even though personally, I could see even Matthew Vaughn directing The Authority, honestly, because that type of movie is actually in his alley as a director. But yeah, I mean, to see, Midnighter, Apollo, The Engineer, the Doctor, and all the others, of this group, live action on the screen, it will be like a fucking dream come true. Because I have, I followed their comic books, I love their stories. Man, I really, really hope. And again, by the way, if you don't know this, The Engineer is actually going to appear in Superman. She's gonna be played by what was her name? She appeared in a few set photos. Wait a minute. What was her name? Okay. I'm sorry if I'm gonna butcher her name, but Maria Gabriela de Faria. That's the actress's name. Well, thank you. Even though I don't know why I need those applause, but okay.
No, either.
Yeah, but basically, she's gonna play the engineer in Superman and James Gunn even said that the Superman is gonna directly lead into the Authority. So, I really cannot wait to see this movie because again, I've been a fan of this team for I would say a decade, and finally to see them on the screen. It's like a wish come true. But don't get me wrong, I'm also excited for Swamp Thing, definitely, and I'm also excited. Like I said, for all the movies that we had, I'm excited for all of them. And definitely Swamp Thing. And again, I do agree with you, FRC. Like you said, the Swamp Thing is definitely going to be like a gory horror movie. And again, I think James Mangold is a perfect choice to direct Swamp Thing. I think he's a perfect choice. And also, by the way, Teen Titans is gonna be written by the same screenwriter who's gonna do Supergirl. Yeah, which is kind of already a proof that people are saying that the next movie in production after Supergirl. Some people are actually even saying that Teen Titans could be next. But who knows? And also, I'm really kind of happy that Andy Muschietti is going to get a second chance to direct a DC movie, which is going to be Batman.
Who would you cast as Batman?
Oh my God! If I had to choose the guy who played Richard,
Alan Richardson.
Yes, I think he'll be great as Batman.
He's too big. He's too big. He's too stocky.
Actually, if you look at the comics, Batman is pretty buffed up.
Yeah, but I don't think it'd look right, especially with the Bruce Wayne stuff.
What was the other? What was one? Actually, who I can see? I know he's eyed pretty much after Wicked, but what was the name of the actor who was in Wicked? Jonathan Bailey or something?
Bailey, yeah.
Yeah, because that I've seen him in some other projects before Wicked, and you know what? It's crazy. I know he's hot right now, but actually, I could see even him as Batman.
I could kind of see that.
I can see him.
He'd look like Bruce Wayne, like the style and the coolness. I think the cockiness aspect of it. I think that would work.
Yeah, but the one thing for certain, he's definitely gonna need to put some muscles.
Yeah, but not too much. I think Alan Richardson's too much.
I mean, anything is possible.
I'll tell you the two I could potentially see. The first one is Glenn Powell. Is that his name?
Really?
Yeah, I could see him maybe. The other person I'm going to say is going to be a little bit controversial. But I'm just going to say him anyway, because I saw him in The Lone Ranger years ago, and ever since I thought he would be a good Batman.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't think he'll ever get cast, in a million years, but which is a shame because I think he actually would be a decent Batman and a decent Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't know, but those are the two that I could really see. I don't know.
I mean, and I'm not again. I'm not gonna go into details, but like after those specific incidents and accusations, I highly doubt he will be ever casted anywhere at all.
Yeah, there's no way he gets cast.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I do agree with you. Ironically, I do agree with you because he is a great actor.
Mhm.
So I do agree with you at some point. You know, I do agree. You know, because even today, I love watching him in The Lone Ranger. You know,
And
I
think
really
he's
do.
got, and I think he's got that balance as well, where I think he can play both.
Yeah.
And he's also good in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well. If you've ever seen that film,
Yes.
He's good in that.
Yeah, I've heard
Yes.
of that one, yes.
Yes, he was great. He was great in that as well. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the movie that made fans, crazy to make Henry Cavill James Bond.
Look how that turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But now, like, people literally, when Daniel Craig is finished, now people are like, yeah, now is our chance to bring Henry Cavill as James Bond. And now they're like literally pushing him.
No, it'll be either Tom Holland or the guy in Bridgerton, James Norton. It'll probably be him now. Yeah, James Norton's been massive now. I think he's a front runner.
No, okay, fair enough. But anyway, so again, but the one, again, like one of the things I love, like there was one post where basically they were saying that, hey, there's a rumor going, like there's a source saying that they're targeting Batman to be middle-aged. And literally, like a few days later, James Gunn wrote that bullshit. He literally wrote bullshit on that news. I mean, James Gunn is the man, literally, And again, I love how he, first and foremost, congratulations on his patience, by the way.
Mhm.
Congratulations on that. But also, I love how he's like repeating, look, I'm going to tell you one more time. If it doesn't come from me or Peter, everything else, treat it as a rumor or as a bullshit news. And that's it. Like, I love that. I really, really do. But yeah, I mean, one of the biggest questions that a lot of people will have is who's going to be cast as Batman. I mean, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, okay. Now, when it comes to the overall movies, I mean, besides like the Authority, I think like you guys are familiar with all the other superheroes.
Yeah.
TK, are you familiar with the Authority?
Not really.
Ooh. I mean, again, you don't know what you're missing because, like, the Authority are such a great, badass group of superheroes. I mean, they're more like anti-heroes than superheroes, but like, I will, again, great stories. Really like, on a grander scale. But anyway, so with all the movies, now we're going to the TV shows. Now, from like besides Peacemaker season 2 and Creature Commandos. The third TV show that is going to be filmed is going to be, of course, Lanterns. Lanterns. Now,
and Ryan Reynolds will be nowhere near that one. Thank God.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Unless they decide to make his costume real, not animated.
Yes.
Then perhaps they can have a conversation. Who knows? But anyway, okay now. For the Lanterns, the first thing I will ask you guys is, now we got the casting for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which of course, Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart. Now, I really want to ask you guys, what are your opinions of their casting?
Aaron Pierre, I think, is a decent one, up and coming actor. I've not seen him in a lot, but from what I've heard, pretty good. Kyle Chandler, no, I've never been a big fan of him as an actor. The stuff I've seen him in has not been great. So for me personally, I'm not massively Looking forward to seeing him. I think he's a little bit too old for it. But Aaron Pierre, I think, is a decent one. It'd be interesting to see them contrast with each other. There's got to be a reason why Hal Jordan's that a little bit older. But obviously they've decided to do something different, so fair enough.
TK?
Yeah, I agree with FRC on this. I think, especially Kyle Chandler, I don't know, there's just something about him I'm not crazy about. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about him I'm not nuts about. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting casting choice. He's not who I would necessarily pick. But I mean, I'm going to give it a shot and see how it looks and see how he does in it. I mean, he might be really good.
I mean, exactly. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, the bar is low for Green Lantern stuff. I think so. Like, if he's like decent, he'll be good. But I don't know, I'm curious.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I was kind of curious to see how is your reaction be about Kyle Chandler being Hal Jordan, because I've seen a lot of people complaining that why Hal Jordan is so old, like why he's so old, in this version and everything. And again, okay, to be fair, even I at first was surprised that they're gonna make Hal Jordan older than John Stewart, because if you look, because in the comics they're almost the same age, both of them. Mm-hmm. So but again, I get the idea, that they wanted to do basically, making Hal Jordan is kind of like the mentor of John Stewart, kind of like John Stewart, making him like a rookie Green Lantern, basically, and Hal Jordan kind of like a veteran Green Lantern. So I mean, okay, I kind of get the idea where they're going with this and everything, so I was, so even though I'm still kind of like mixed about it, and again, Kyle Chandler, to be fair, like the only project I ever seen him before was, and I'm not kidding you, was in Peter Jackson's King Kong. That was the only time I ever saw him. I never seen any of the...
He's in the Wolf of Wall Street. He's in the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. The detective guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. I forgot about that. He was in that as well. But honestly, even though I've tried to search some scenes of Kyle Chandler like in movies on YouTube to try to kind of see if I can see like Hal Jordan in him and everything. And in a sort of crazy way, I can. In a way, I can see Hal Jordan a little bit in him. But even though, again, I know he's old, he's too old and everything, I get it. But I'll give the Lanterns like showrunners the benefit of the doubt. Because like if James Gunn believes them, then they have my trust as well. Because James Gunn did say that the guys who wrote the Lanterns, they wrote like an incredible like show. He really liked the script, basically. And I'm really kind of curious how they're gonna do Lanterns, because they did say that it's gonna be like a true detective story and also grounded. So but even though they still said like, yeah, sure, like we're gonna introduce Green Lanterns and other like cosmic characters, especially in the Green Lantern Corps and everything. So I'm really kind of curious how they're gonna balance the cosmic elements with the grounded stuff. I really am kind of curious how they're gonna do this and everything, And also, there's a rumor going around that Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner could appear in the Lanterns TV show.
I think overall in the Green Lantern show, I think Green Lantern's such a cool hero, and obviously the only form we've seen him is Ryan Reynolds. I don't even want to call it a movie. A piece of
shit.
A presentation. Let's just go with that. So for me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to incorporate this in. This is again another character that I feel like James Gunn can really get his sort of like teeth into creative wise, could really steer this in the right direction. And the Green Lantern isn't such a cool character. I think there's some real strengths with this. I'm not a massive fan of the casting, but I definitely think using a TV format with this character, it's going to ease this character back in. And I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, let's do it. I'm just a little bit cautious because of that casting choice. But apart from that, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally on board with you. Like I said, because I told you, like even now, I'm kind of like a little bit twisted with the again with the old Kyle Chandler thing, But again, I will give James Gunn and the showrunners the benefit of the doubt. I will give them because one of the things I love about James Gunn is that he will take every single actor and basically turn every single weakness they have into strength. That's literally what he does. Like he will take an actor that a lot of people didn't like at first, and then he will turn them into something that people will like, basically. So that's why I believe that even with Kyle Chandler being cast as Hal Jordan, I think like James Gunn knows what he's doing. Yeah, basically. And and again, the one thing that I'm really curious about Lanterns is how the fuck they're gonna make this story grounded with the cosmic stuff in it as well. I'm really kind of curious what they're gonna do about that, because that's the one that really kept me questioning, like, okay, how they're gonna balance that. It's really crazy, like, because they said like, oh, he's gonna be grounded, the story's gonna be on Earth, revolving a mystery, then it's gonna be like, one of the main things in this 10-year plan. I'm telling you, I'm really curious what they're trying to do. So overall, how would you rate your excitement level for Lanterns?
What's the scale?
I mean, how can I put this? From like all the news and everything that you heard of.
I'm gonna say I'm about a 7 or an 8. I think.
Fair enough. UFRC?
I'm purely basing this on the fact that I'm intrigued by the character. I'm going to say a strong 7. I think the casting drops it down for me, but still 7.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, even I am like somewhere between 7 and 8. I'm actually going more towards 7. Like, I'm excited, but at the same time, a little bit like how can I put what's the word I was searching for? Like, I'm excited, but at the same time I'm trying to be careful, basically.
Yeah.
Now, with that out of the way, and now Lanterns, like I said, they said that they're gonna also start just like Supergirl, filming it like somewhere in early like 2025. I don't know if it's like January or February. Maybe it's January, just like Supergirl. I don't know, but after Lanterns, we have 4 more shows coming up, and one of them is Paradise Lost. We have Waller, we have Booster Gold, and we have animated series Blue Beetle, with the same actor portraying Blue Beetle in the movie returning to voice the character one more time. Which for me personally, I think is fantastic. So, out of all the 4 shows I've mentioned right now, which ones you find interesting or exciting?
I'm not too sure about Paradise Lost and Booster Gold yet. I've heard that Booster Gold is a really, really solid character that could be played by loads of really big, high-profile names. So I'm intrigued by that aspect of it. Paradise Lost, I'm not aware. The Waller show is, I'm not sure. I think that might be a little bit of a very casual show. I'm not too sure whether there's enough there that can really build her up. If they do a prequel show, I think I'd be a little bit more interested just to see the backstory, because she is such a brutal lady, and Viola Davis plays her perfectly. But I think a prequel show probably would work better. But the one that you mentioned right at the end there is absolutely probably my most anticipated, because Blue Beetle was good. It was solid. It wasn't amazing, but it was solid. And Jolo Mariduena, who plays him, I think was a really great choice. Really like him in Cobra Kai as Miguel. So I think the animated format, I think, will work really well, because I think the best parts of Blue Beetle was the color palette, the boldness, the kind of Mexican, kind of culture coming through, and Mexican Spanish culture, and I think that was a really strong direction to take in. I think will be done really nice in animated form. Plus, not a lot of people know about Blue Beetle, so I think an animated format would be a great way to do that. So for me, my most anticipated is Blue Beetle, followed by the others in any casual order.
Okay. TK?
I think for me, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Blue Beetle, I think, is, I don't know. I agree. I thought that movie was good. So I'm curious to see. And then Booster Gold, I don't know a lot about. Booster Gold, is he supposed to be like a futuristic guy who comes back to the present or something?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of like futuristic stuff. So I think for that reason, it's going to be good and interesting. So I'm curious.
Okay, fair enough. So you would say Booster Gold and Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so basically, let me try to put it this way. So basically, Waller, with Viola Davis returning as Amanda Waller, which again, incredible. They kept her. I think like Waller is gonna the team Peacemaker is gonna return in the show as well. I mean, outside Peacemaker himself, they're gonna return it, and I think Waller was always supposed to be like a crime thriller type of like TV show. I think like something like a mixture of like the Equalizer to like the TV shows like Criminal Minds and etc. etc. You kind of get the idea, basically. Yeah. I think like Waller was supposed to be that type of like level TV series, basically. What was that crime thriller TV show where Nathan Fillion played a writer? And Stan Akatic was like his partner or something.
It wasn't The Rookie, was it? The police show.
No, it wasn't The Rookie. It was called something else. Let me think.
Is it like is it also very similar to that 24 show?
Wait. Castle. That's the show name. The show's name. Castle. Marshmallow has arrived. Thank you, Mr. Marshmallow. Pleasure to join our little chat one more time.
Do we know who Marshmallow is?
All I know is that marshmallows are sweet and sticky.
I mean, Mr. Marshmallow, Dumbo.
I mean, do I remember him from like the previous time he was here? Then yes. But personally, he is, no.
Good to have you, Mr. Marshmallow.
Hi, Mr.
Subscribe.
I might know.
Subscribe.
Hi, Mr. I might know who Mr. Marshmallow is.
No. Pleasure to have you again here, Mr. Marshmallow. Welcome to the party.
Mr. Marshmallow, subscribe to the TK YouTube channel, Lord of Shadows YouTube channel, and Film Review Central YouTube channel. Top man.
Hell yeah. So basically, like I said, Waller is was always supposed to be something like a mixture of like Mentalist, Castle, Criminal Minds, The Equalizer, something like that, basically, as a TV show. Cody, main man. Cody, subscribe. That's what we ask. That's what we ask for you. We got to get Lord of Shadows to 100 subscribers, and also whilst you're there, TK, subscribe. Film Review Central, subscribe, Cody. Absolute legend.
Hi, Cody.
Pleasure to meet you, Cody, officially. Now, okay, so basically, with Waller, now Paradise Lost was supposed to be like a prequel TV series, basically, before Wonder Woman was born, basically, in which like tells basically the story of like the life of the Amazons on Themyscira. Kind of like James Gunn described it kind of like a Game of Thrones-ish type of like TV show, which personally I don't mind, honestly. Then of course we had Booster Gold, which, like you said, TK he's basically a guy from the future who stole some gear and basically went to the present, tried to be a superhero, but basically he's a loser from the future. literally. You know, a guy with imposter syndrome, basically. Now Booster Gold was. I can tell you right now, Booster Gold will be a full-on comedy superhero TV show. That I can guarantee you, a barrel of laughs. And then after that we have, of course, the Blue Beetle animated series. Now, again, for Paradise Lost and Waller, I'm interested. I'm interested what kind of ideas they have for the shows. Now, for the excitement, then I'm on the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold boat, because I've been a fan of Booster Gold for a very long time, ever since I was introduced to him in the Justice League animated series. I really like Booster Gold. So when they finally announced him, that they're gonna make a TV series out of it, I was really excited for it. I really can't wait who they're gonna cast for Booster Gold. I know there's some rumors of what was that guy's name from Eternals? He was also in Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire and that Uber comedy with Batista.
Camille Nanjiani.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I always butcher the guy's name. There have been rumors that he's gonna be the one who's gonna play Booster Gold, but it was never officially confirmed. But honestly, even if they cast him, I'll be totally fine. Honestly, because he's incredibly funny. And Blue Beetle, again, seeing the original actor coming back as Blue Beetle, it's so exciting because I really like the movie. And again, another anime project alongside Creature Commando. Why wouldn't you be excited? Basically,
well, depending on how hammy they want Booster Gold to be, they could. This would be a real wild card. Maybe Lucas Gabriel.
I think I heard a rumor Chris Pratt could be Booster Gold. Well,
see that.
I know that Chris Pratt is very famous now for being cast in almost everything. But honestly, I could see him as Booster Gold. I could see him like that wittiness and wackiness.
I don't know. I think for Lucas Gabriel.
Don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Okay, here we go. He will make a good booster. He has the personality for it. I can definitely see him, as Booster Gold. I totally agree with you, Cody, or Mr. Marshmallow, whichever you prefer. I can definitely see him as Booster Gold, even though here's the thing. Let's just say that James Gunn announces, hey, Chris Pratt is Booster Gold. Welcome to DC family. I can tell you, everyone in the comment section down below was saying, and next, Chris Pratt will be casted as Hercules. Chris Pratt will be casted as the Pope. Chris Pratt will be casted as the next Playboy magazine guy. Basically.
Oh.
The point I'm trying to make is that basically they're saying Chris Pratt is now being casted in everything, like Onward, Garfield, Super Mario, and so on and so forward. So. That's the point I was trying to make.
If anyone's watching who can make that movie, we need a Pope Chris Pratt movie.
Oh,
we
God.
We do not.
That would be awesome.
Hey, let's just make it, just for the fun of it.
It would bomb so badly in the box office. It would be so hilarious.
Can you imagine?
It'll offend so many people.
Oh, that's for sure. But can you imagine Chris Pratt as the Pope making that dance fight like he did with Ronan the Accuser?
Oh, it would be so bad. There'd be no redeeming quality to the movie whatsoever.
Oh my god! That would be so crazy, so crazy. But anyway, So if I have to go basically to my final thoughts, basically Booster Gold and the animated series Blue Beetle are the ones I'm really excited for.
Could you see, depending on how hammy they wanted to go with Booster Gold, I don't know how hammy they want to go with him. I might put a 20% vote in for Lucas Gabriel.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me just.
That's partially because he's a blonde.
Lucas, you said Lucas Gabriel.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wasn't he the guy who was like in the? Wait, you talk about the guy who was in High School Musical movies?
Yeah, depending on how hammy you want to go, I don't know. I could almost see him if they wanted to go like really, really hammy.
I can't wait.
Well,
I can't wait for him to start singing.
Oh my God! Please no. But the one thing for certain, he's gonna definitely need to put some muscles. That's for sure. Oh my God! Like I mean, the guy from fucking High School Musical doing like Booster Gold. Now I've seen everything. Jesus, I mean, I hated those movies. I hated them. So
Really?
ridiculous.
Yeah. Earlier on, we were talking about the Peacemaker. You got up and danced. You didn't dance to any High School Musical. I am so surprised.
The songs were boring. Okay, they were not interesting.
You danced to it. 100% you danced to a High School Musical song.
No, I didn't. My sister did it, but not me.
Yeah, all right then. We believe you.
Alan's
Okay.
sister, if you're Lord of Shadows' sister, if you're watching and you have any videos of Lord of Shadows dancing to any High School Musical songs, please send them to FRC or myself.
That I'm sorry, TK, you're too late because they're already destroyed. I destroy all the evidence. They're only ashes now, with a little bit of plastic melted.
Now, I'm going to chuck in somebody else in the mix here for Booster Gold, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think they're saving him for something else. Anthony Starr from The Boys for Booster Gold. I think they might save him for something else, though.
Yeah, but I think like he's too old for that.
That's what I mean. I think they're going to save him for something else, but I could just see I could see the possibility.
I'm going to go on a limb here, honestly, for Anthony Starr. I'm going to go on a limb here. I would prefer to see him as the Joker.
That's what I mean. I think they will save him, but I think he has to come into this DC universe somewhere because I think he'll fit just perfectly.
Now, I mean, now with all the things we said, there are other there are three. I didn't want to mention them, but there are other two movies that we heard like some rumors and news about it. I think I mentioned to you guys before. One of them is like the Deathstroke / Bane movie, and the other one is the Sergeant Rock movie that supposedly Guadagnino, I think his last name is, or something. But basically, the director worked on. I think the director worked with Daniel Craig before, basically. But anyways, basically, those are the two other movies that some clues are saying that might be official. But again, we have no information. But I will say this: Sergeant Rock for me is a very interesting choice to have in the DC universe because first and foremost, Sergeant Rock is basically a literal soldier with no superpowers, active in the World War II, and basically fighting for his country, basically, and now they're saying that Daniel Craig actually they wanted him to play Sergeant Rock. Now
I think they missed him. I think Marvel missed a beat with not casting him as Doctor Doom, so potentially that could be a chance to kind of say, well, if you're not going to get that, then you can come over to our side.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, how much you guys are familiar with Sergeant Rock?
Not very much.
Okay,
Yeah.
UTK?
I'm not too familiar with him. Is his partner like Lieutenant Pebble? Lieutenant Pebble?
You bastard. No, I mean, look, basically, Sergeant Rock. Get stuffed. The pair of you. But basically.
Me? What have I done?
No, I'm sorry. No, it's not your fault, FRC. No, I just had to say it.
Okay.
Because every time when I watch like British sitcoms, every time I used to, I just simply hear "get stuffed, the pair of you."
Yeah,
So-
that's us. That's us.
No, anyway, so basically, now the reason now here's actually here's actually some evidence why we could see Sergeant Rock actually a movie happening, because have you guys watched the Creature Commandos trailers?
Yes.
TK.
No.
You knew we were doing this stream. How are you not ready for it?
Now you know how it felt like when I was doing Pixar with him.
Yeah, no, I feel
Jesus.
your pain now.
Anyway, FRC, you remember that GI Robot bar scene?
Yes,
You're
I
right.
remember it. I remember it from a very good trailer that you could watch on YouTube very quickly and easily with a search bar.
Exactly. Now, in that, yeah. Now, anyway, in that particular scene, you see GI Robot, you see like a Native American soldier, and then on the other side you see like one big guy, saying like, "Oh, like hail Tin Man," basically. Now the reason why I'm saying Sergeant Rock could actually happen because those two soldiers that were with him, basically, are actually part of Sergeant Rock's team in the comics.
Okay.
Like they're basically part of his like let's just say DC version of A-Team, basically. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So with them being like in Creature Commandos, definitely like in some sort of like a flashback scene, that actually could prove that maybe Sergeant Rock could happen. But my main question to you guys is, what is your opinion of like Sergeant Rock being Daniel Craig?
I think he needs a big role. I think he needs a big kind of like, kind of continuous character. I think he could definitely play a villain, and obviously we know he can play a hero from Bond. So I think he's got that range, and I think he just needs something to really sort of get his sort of teeth into. Really, something that could be a long lasting role. Obviously, he's got the stuff with the Knives Out stuff. But I think he's definitely an actor that could play many different roles within a superhero movie or show. So why not?
Okay. Also, UTK?
Yeah, I agree. I think he would be a good choice. I like him. I don't know. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of Daniel Craig in the world, but I like him well enough. I don't know. I mean, I think he would be a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, I thought it was a surprising choice for me. But in a very crazy way, I can actually see Sergeant Rock, like Daniel Craig as Sergeant Rock. I can actually see him. But here's the thing. But one more information. Like Sergeant Rock in the comics, he was also affiliated with Creature Commandos. So there you have another possible connection to why Sergeant Rock could happen. Maybe we could even see GI Robot in it if it happens, of course. Now the point is, if Sergeant Rock happens, then this has to definitely be like a one-off movie, and that's it. Because I don't see Sergeant Rock having sequels. I mean, what do you think?
We'll have to see where the character goes, though. What direction it could go in. I mean, obviously, the structure of the MCU, which is a very successful comparison you can potentially make, is that no film apart from the Hulk is just like a standalone story. They all seem to have at least one or two sequels following that. So it just depends on what they decide to do in terms of continuing this role. So yeah, you could be the one outstanding movie and then be incorporated into different things. Of course you can, but it's just they've got to make the right decisions. And if it's showing up in Creature Commandos in an animated form and then going to get its own stuff, then that's a great way of having this character relevant in all of the different projects.
Okay. What about you, TK?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think that for me personally, one-offs doing one season, I think that attracts me to a show more than if I know it's going to be like 2, 3, 4 seasons. So I think having it be a one-off might make it more attractive. It might draw more people in. It might get more interest. So from that perspective, I would say probably it would be better as a one-off. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like for me personally, like I think like Sergeant Rock, if they do a movie about Sergeant Rock, which is something actually that they've been trying to do for years and years to do a Sergeant Rock, because like one point Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to play him, then one point even Bruce Willis was supposed to like play Sergeant Rock, you know, and so on and so forward. But basically, again, Sergeant Rock again is a very simple story where basically, you know, during World War II he fights Nazis. Basically, you know, he's part of the American military army, and he's a sergeant, and basically he has his own special team, like for example the A team, basically of the DC universe, so to speak. You know, so, and again, having Daniel Craig being Sergeant Rock, then I can definitely see, especially the age that he is now, Daniel Craig. I think like Sergeant Rock will be like a one-off thing, and that's it. I don't see it having sequels.
Well, if Arnold Schwarzenegger had been cast as him, he would definitely be back.
Well, that's for sure. And then we will definitely see him a lot of times saying, "Get a chopper now." That's for sure. Yeah. But anyway, now the one thing another question I want to ask you, like the other thing that I'm kind of curious is about this Deathstroke / Bane movie that people are saying. Now, for me personally, there's got to be two things. One, it has to do with a Secret Six story or movie, or if you have these two villains together, then it definitely has to be like a heist or like a mission where those two either have to they clash together or they have to work together. Basically, that's the only possible storyline I could see those two being in a movie, you know, together. Now, between those two movies, like Deathstroke / Bane and Sergeant Rock, like which ones? I'm not gonna say excitement. I would say which one of those two interests you the most. Who's gonna start first?
Out of what? Sorry, it cut off a little bit. What were the two?
So we have, like I said, the two, again, rumored / not official yet, but like we have Sergeant Rock and we have Deathstroke / Bane untitled film. Now, my question was, which of those two I'm not gonna say you're excited. I would say which one of those two you find most interesting.
The Deathstroke and Bane one.
Could you please expand it? Your reason why?
Yeah, I just think they're two characters which I think could play off of each other really well. I think there'd be a good form of comedy in there, but also like some brutal killing and type of good, you know, kind of gory action sequences. And I think they're just more of a name which people will be like, okay, let's see how these two interact. So that there's more weight on them characters for me personally.
Okay. TK?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Bane and Deathstroke, I'm more drawn to that one too, partially because those are the two characters I know. And I think also too, I mean, like FRC said, it could be a really violent movie. It could be like a lot of killing. It could be, and we know with Deadpool that can be really funny.
Yep.
So I think that there's potential for that. And it can be, it can sort of be unexpected too, because you wouldn't necessarily expect those two together in a movie. So I think I think that movie is what draws me in a little more.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I mean, for me personally, look, I'm gonna have to join your crew on this one because, like, even though personally, like, I mean, I am familiar with Sergeant Rock. I have read some of the comics, and I was familiar with him, like, in other, like, his appearances on media and everything. But and I still find fascinating they chose him to be part of the DC universe. But, even though for me personally, I'm like, hey, why not? But if I have to say, like, which one kind of interests me the most, I'll definitely go with Deathstroke / Bane movie. Definitely, because with those two characters together, you can literally do anything you want. Like, you can, like I said, you can make them work together. You can make them clash together on a mission. You can do like a heist movie with them. Like, you can literally do anything you want with them. But one thing for certain, definitely the story has to do with them being mercenaries.
Yes.
Like being on a mission or something, like either as rivals or they have to work together or something. But again, one of the reasons why I'm more intrigued into that is because it's about fucking time we have stories where you have villains as the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that more in the DC universe. Okay. Now, one of the other questions one of the other questions I have, and again, those are like kind of like the quickies, as I like to call them. Besides of all the superheroes and villains that so far have been confirmed, do you have any wish list of characters, again, superheroes, supervillains, do you wish to see in the DC universe? I mean, of course, if you have them.
That hasn't been introduced yet.
Yes, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
That's kind of. I mean, a Shazam movie done a bit better would probably be quite cool if he was like teamed up with, if he had like a kind of a bigger team potentially, or even like more younger heroes, kind of go into a bit of a type of like younger audience. And then probably just again like another villain story that I think could be quite cool to explore again. And potentially give Batgirl the credit that she deserves, because obviously the movie was done, and all of that kind of problem and issue. Don't release that film that they made, because I understand that film's literally in the bin now, but kind of put some respect a little bit more on that character's name and give people what they wanted, which was the excitement.
Okay. Do you have any more wishes?
I'm all out of wishes for now, yes.
Okay. No, it's okay. Fair enough. How about you, TK?
I would say you mentioned her earlier. I'd say I'd like to see Tara. I'd also like to see, I mentioned him earlier, I'd like to see Static. I also say with Static, I'd like to see them do Gear too, a live action Gear. He'd be cool. Also Trigon, but he might be like an Endgame kind of thing. But he'd be cool if they could do him at some point. I think that's it.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. For me personally, again, it's a bit of a long list, but like if I have to choose like between like let's say 3 or 4 of them, I would say like for heroes, I would love to see, again, done properly. I would love to see Jonah Hex in the DC universe, again, done properly. I would love to see. I know how much you're familiar with them, but like I would love to see a movie with fire and ice, like those two superheroes. Like usually like in the stories they're usually always together, and I literally love those characters ever since like I saw them in Justice League Unlimited. So I would love, so I really love them in the comics as well. So I would love to see fire and ice, Jonah Hex. The third hero I would love to see is, again, it's more like another shot at it. Stargirl. I'd love to see Stargirl in the DC universe. Of the villains, again, long list. Of course, one of them is, of course, the clown prince of crime himself, Joker. I would love to see him, but this time done properly. Okay, like white skin, filling the vat of chemicals, no like fucking tattoos or anything on him, or anything like, no. I want to see an actual Joker with a purple suit, green hair, white skin, and everything. You know, like an actual Joker. After that, I would love to see another, like an old JSA, Justice Society villain, but also Stargirl villain. I would love to see Dragon King. And the third one, I will also add for the final wish. I will go with. I mean, that of course that's an easy mark, but like, okay, wait, we have another comment from Ryan. Will Marvel versus DC ever happen on the big screen? Could James Gunn make it happen? Well, with James Gunn, I will tell you this: anything is possible. But do I think it's going to happen soon? I don't sadly think so. But again, anything is possible, Ryan. Anything is possible, my friend. You know, I will cross my fingers just for you for this to happen, just so you can be happy.
I like to see Kevin Feige and James Gunn like in like a steel cage and like boxing it out, but
yeah, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Damn,
I don't think it will. I mean, we had Marvel DC crossovers in the comics, but like on the big screen, I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, it might, but right now, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of characters to choose, but like so far, like the ones I named, I would say those are like so far on my wish list. You know, because again, if I tell you the whole list, we'll be here all night. I can assure you. Now, I heard that FRC you need to go somewhere.
I do. Yes, it's been a very long day, but I definitely wanted to jump on this stream, episode 20. Of the Shadow Council. Absolutely love. Congratulations again to 20 episodes. Congratulations on all the success this year. TK, it has been always a pleasure and a privilege to see you, my friend. Make sure you check out his channel as well. And thank you very much for having me. Always a pleasure.
See you soon.
See you soon, boys. See you later.
Oh, well, it's just the two of us. Now the question is, how much patience do you have?
I have a little bit more.
Okay, because I wanted to say one more thing, but sadly FRC is no longer with us. Where basically, we mentioned this before. Now, the DC universe that James Gunn is planning to do, first and foremost, it's not going to be like the MCU. First and foremost, it's not going to be like the MCU where every single movie, every single TV show follows to one big story, or he would like to put it like one big bad in the end. You know, like, because the idea that he had, now, again, this is an area that you're not quite familiar with it, but bear with me. So basically what James Gunn said is that he wanted to create a DC universe that is very similar to Star Wars.
Yes.
You know, very similar to Star Wars in the overall structure of the universe, let's put it that way, in which like you can go in the past, in the present, in the future, like you can tell any story you want, and step by step making it connected in a way, you know. And not everything has to be connected. You can do standalone stories, you know, with like, you know, some characters and mentionings can pop in and out all the time, you know. And of course, you know, like the last thing he said, you know, a Star Wars like universe with like Game of Thrones characters with like, you know, complex characters basically, you know. Now, one of the things is that I've seen a lot of people shitting on this, like immediately saying, okay, the DC universe is doomed, oh my god, and we have a Kathleen Kennedy dressed as a man, you know, like, oh my god, he's gonna be like, just like Disney Star Wars, like those type of characters and everything, blah blah blah. And I'm like are these guys like either pretending or they're like blind or something? Because like James Gunn said, what he was just simply saying is that he wants to do a DC universe that is structured like the Star Wars universe. Like he doesn't want to do the same type of characters, same types of storylines or anything. because again, for him, it all depends on the vision and the creativity and the story and basically what the other shows want to do. Because like even when it comes to animation, he said not everything is going to be like the same thing. Like for example, Blue Beetle animated series could not be the same style like Creature Commandos. Basically, it could be 3D, it could be another type of 2D animation, who knows. Now my question to you is what's your opinion about like this idea of like having DC universe like made in a similar like Star Wars way?
Well, I think it's a good idea to structure it differently than the MCU for sure, because I think that whether they mean it to or not, they're going to be one of the first things people are going to do as more of the DC universe gets built is they're going to compare that to the MCU, and see how it stacks up. So I think James Gunn needs to do something to set it apart. And now I think an advantage he has with the structure is the MCU is, I'm not going to say it's on a downward trend, but I'm going to say that there's an opening there for a new like superhero, a new studio to come in, and new characters to come in. So I think that James Gunn has an advantage there. I think in terms of the format, I don't know a lot about Star Wars, so I don't know. I think probably that is a good format to follow. But I mean, again, I think he definitely has to do something different than the MCU. So I'm kind of glad that he's not like just like copying what the MCU did, because I think that would get boring. I think that the MCU had a good formula, but I think that it would just get really, really boring to see the same exact thing with like different superheroes. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, personally, for me, because just from the very beginning, James Gunn said that he wanted to bring us, the fans, something new and something special, something different, and to build the DC universe in a way like Star Wars is. Like, for example, to try to make it clearer for you, not everything in Star Wars is like connected when it comes to like a big story, like some of the things are connected more, some of the things are connected less, and because like there's a lot of like standalone stories in the Star Wars universe that like like you have some characters from like the movies, or like sequel trilogy, prequel trilogy, original trilogy, like appearing there, here and there, sometimes mentioned, but you can still tell a standalone story, or basically being on its own. The point I'm trying to say now, the point is the same thing goes with the DC universe, which I still think it's a great idea. Like not everything has to be connected. Basically what he's trying to say is that some things will be connected more, some of the things will be connected less, and some of the things will not be connected at all. Like for example, when he was talking about Swamp Thing, the movie, like Swamp Thing, like the overall movie, it said, he basically said that, at the first it won't be connected to the DC universe at all, but somewhere down the line, basically it will basically crawl his way into the main DC universe, basically, and again, again, since you're not quite familiar with Star Wars, it's kind of difficult to me to kind of explain this to you. But the easiest way I can tell you is that not everything is connected like the MCU. Like for example, if you're familiar with the Star Wars movies, they're connected. Like the prequels, the originals, and the sequel, like I said. But everything outside of that, some of them are connected more, some of them are connected less. And basically this James Gunn is trying to say that he wants to do that the same way, in a way. So I totally agree with him. I think like this is definitely something fresh, something new, something that is outside the MCU, and also it gives you an opportunity to build the DC universe like I said, in a more different, refreshing way. Like you can easily go into the past, you can go into the future, you can tell stories in the present without like hesitation of like what should we do in canon now? Is this like fitting or it's not? It could be connected. La la la. Like that is the most perfect way to do it.
I think he would be smart to stay away from doing origin stories, though.
Oh, definitely.
The only group that I could see him doing an origin story with, if he did it right, is the Teen Titans. I think they might need a tiny bit of origin, but I think that aside from them, I think that because that's one of the things I loved about the Spider-Man movies in the MCU was that they weren't actually one of the things I loved about the Spider-Man movies in the MCU is if you take them as a trilogy, they were essentially an origin story for Spider-Man without one specific movie being the origin story. So I think that if James Gunn could take any elements from the MCU into the DCU, I think that he should look at the Spider-Man movies and take that element of there's not one film that's an origin story. It's more of like it more if he does connect things, it's more connected and the origin is like spaced out. But I don't think doing like a straight origin story like for Batman, Superman, Booster Gold, like don't focus on the origins of them. Just go into the characters and like the movie. Because I think origin stories are getting really, really old.
But here's the thing. In the James Gunn's DC universe, I definitely feel some of the heroes will definitely have an origin story. Some of them. I'm not going to say all of them. Some of them will have. Like, for example, Batman and Superman, he already confirmed they're not going to have an origin story. Like, you know, the when he introduced them, they're going to be already established as like Batman and Superman, which is great. Absolutely great. Because like he said, everyone already knows their origin story. Why would we have to tell them again? You know, which I definitely agree. Now, for example, Wonder Woman in the DC universe, like I'm kind of connecting with the Paradise Lost TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman, she might actually get an origin story. For example, Wonder Woman. Now, the Flash, I don't know. I don't know if he will. Like, you know, and again, even like Green Lantern. I mean, maybe Jon Stewart, maybe he could get in Lanterns like a semi-ish origin story, maybe with Hal Jordan being his mentor. I don't know, but like, you know, but I definitely think like some of the heroes will definitely have an origin story, but I also believe not everyone is going to have one. You know, like some of them will, but most of them will not. So I personally think it's going to be like a 50-50 thing.
You know who I just thought about? Circling back to Booster Gold, you know who I could almost see as Booster Gold?
Who?
Ben McKenzie.
Wow.
I could almost see him as Booster Gold.
Wow. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, but like I think he's too serious for Booster Gold. Can I ask?
That is true. He is a little, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, actually, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but you know, actually, which character I think Ben McKenzie could play? The Question.
You know what? I could see that.
You know who the Question is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that.
I can see Ben McKenzie playing the Question.
I could see Ben McKenzie as the Question.
Yeah, I can definitely see him. Now, the thing is, like, you know, because like I have to tell you, man, I'm still surprised they got Victor Zsasz from Gotham as Metamorpho.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that too. I don't have anything against that actor, but I wasn't like crazy about him. He's not somebody I could see on like in a big motion picture movie. I'm surprised of all the actors from Gotham that he is that James Gunn took him. That surprises me.
Me too. I definitely agree on that. You know, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I will give him a shot as Metamorpho to see like how he's gonna, because even like the type of characters that this actor plays, Metamorpho, like, you know, he's different. Like he is. I mean, in some versions, Metamorpho acts like a teenager. Like, you know, in a way, but in some versions he's like more serious. Like, so again, it depends on like which version James Gunn is gonna play with, basically. But like I mean, again, still shocked to see that he chose him for this. But one thing, but also it kind of gives me hope that we might even got to see the outsiders in the DC universe. If you know who the outsiders are,
Vaguely.
you have basically you have Katana, you have Metamorpho.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, you have Katana, you have Metamorpho, and you have not Static Shock. You have Black Lightning.
That's how they left. Isn't that how they sort of ended Beware the Bad Man?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, they created their own version of the Outsiders.
Yes.
Man, I still wish they continued that show. It was so good.
I kind of like that show too. I always felt like I was in the minority with that show because I always felt like that show was like really well done. I liked the story. I liked the characters. I agree. That show they should have continued. I kind of, if they ever want to go back and recycle any of those shows, that would be a show I'd go back for because that one was good.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, the only problem I had with that show is that Anarchy being white.
Yeah.
Because I always preferred him being all red with like the golden mask and everything. So that was my only complaint. But everything else was great. Everything else was great. Although Humpty Dumpty kind of sounded more like the Riddler in a way.
Yeah.
But I didn't complain. But the one thing for certain, the one thing I'm hoping for James Gunn is that he keeps the majority of the villains for future projects.
Yes.
And not just like the MCU killing them off one by one.
Yeah, he shouldn't. I don't think I agree. I think he needs to save them, as opposed to like offing them after the movies.
I mean to kind of give you an example, the main villain of Creature Commandos is going to be out of all the villains, he chose Cersei, who is supposedly a Wonder Woman villain. So with Cersei, and especially the actress that he chose, did you ever watch The Witcher?
The Witcher, no.
Anyway, the actress who played a witch in The Witcher, she portrays Cersei, and so so that's kind of like an example to like. I'm really hoping that he's gonna keep Cersei for like future projects.
Well, maybe he'll take a page out of Gotham. Remember in Gotham, nobody really died in that show.
Yeah. Oh my God. So a lot of the people that died, then later on they return back from the dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They kept bringing everybody back. They brought Theo Gallivan. Remember, he was blown up.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He was blown up into like pieces, and they brought him back.
I mean, Penguin beat the shit out of him, and then James Gordon shot him, and then like Penguin shoved an umbrella down his throat.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically he returned as Azrael, and basically he got blown up by a bazooka. I mean, like,
but I like how, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as Gotham did with the villains, but I think James Gunn ought to take a page out of that, which is like you said. I mean, not like offing the villains, like keeping them around.
No, and again, I'm not saying that every single villain should return. Like, okay, some of the villains, he's definitely gonna kill off, in like one project, and then that's it. But I'm just saying that the majority of the villains, I'm really hoping that he's gonna keep them from like future projects. Like for example, when he introduces Joker into, let's just say, a Batman movie, like for example, The Brave and the Bold, for example. If he introduces the Joker, don't kill him off like immediately.
Yeah.
Like you keep him around, like like for like a couple of years or something. I don't know, like because like I mean, if I have to say an example to James Gunn, let him take example from, for example, Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series, like where basically he fought villains, and let's just say 95% of them he basically defeated them and sent them either in Blackgate or in Arkham. Speaking of Batman, I mean. So that's one thing I'm really hoping. for the DC for James Gunn, to do in the DC universe. Now, again, again, this is just the beginning of the DC universe, but like so far, I mean, what is your like overall? What do you think? What is your overall thoughts? What is your overall thought about the DC universe? Like beginning a new leaf, beginning a new chapter, basically.
I think they have a real chance to really be successful. I think, like I said earlier, I think the MCU, there's an opening now with some of the quality of the MCU films. I think there's an opening for the DCU. So I think that the timing is definitely good for that. I think the casting from the casts I've heard, they sound good. They sound solid.
Yep.
And James Gunn, I mean, anybody who's seen the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy knows that he knows his stuff and he has good instincts. So I think he can definitely pull this off. I think that it's needed because I think that the DCU, they haven't really had a good run. They've attempted to do things, but they haven't really had a good run. So I think this is needed. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see how it's all received. And I'm also curious to see the comparisons that people draw or don't draw to the MCU. And I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, because like for me personally, like I think like with everything we said, I mean, everything that was revealed, I think like the DC universe finally, I think like has the chance to rival the MCU, because again, it's gonna be different, it's gonna be new, fresh. It's not gonna be, it's not just simply gonna be a copycat of the things that already existed before. I think like I mean, the DCU had a chance, but like after everything that happened with Batman v Superman, they tried to rush it instead of like trying to building it up and everything. So I think like now with James Gunn and Peter Safran in charge, I think like now they have finally a chance to compete against the MCU. And I think like with everything that's going on in the MCU, the DC universe right now, they have the upper hand to finally prove themselves, to be interesting, to be exciting, to be fascinating in a way, and basically kind of like take over the fields that basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe failed so far.
The thing I would say about the piece of advice I would give James Gunn is I know there are like 3 MCU projects coming out next year that we talked about. I think two. He needs to make sure that he doesn't. He needs to make sure that he doesn't like see those and like start to think about competing. Like he only has like he only has like the one movie coming out for the DCU. So I think he needs to like focus more on the quality of the movies and not like rush any of them, like not like try to match the MCU. Like, because I think that if Superman's good, it could blow the DC, or if Superman's good, it could blow the MCU movies out of the water. So I think he needs to focus more on the quality and not the quantity. He needs to keep that his focus.
I mean, look, James Gunn already said that they're not gonna start production until they have a good script on their hands. Because like for them, because James Gunn already said that for them, storytelling is always the key. That's always for him. That's always the heart of every project. If you have a good script, then everything else is easy for them. So, and again, for some people, when James Gunn said that, it made them think like that this sounds like very like a slow procedure for creating a DC universe. Like because like the time when they write the script and for him to greenlight to think like it's great or not, it will pass like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same time, like that's actually a very smart strategic thing to do. Like if you have a good script, then everything else is going to be easy to do. Which is one of the things I love about James Gunn. He always took storytelling seriously. He always took it like the most important thing in every movie. Not the CGI, not the costumes, not the actors, not like the connection or whatever, the story. That's the thing he always concentrated the most. And I think, like I said, with him in the creative side of the DC universe, I think the DC universe in general is gonna be in good hands. That's personally what I think. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. And so with that, I think we came to an end to another Shadow Council episode. I mean, do you have any last words?
Mephisto's coming.
Well, with everything happening in Agatha all along, it could be a possibility. Even though this is the DC universe, not Marvel, but still. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, we said everything. We said everything. I mean, to be fair, we could have gone deeper into everything, But with all the news and the rumors and fake news circulating, especially on Twitter, I was just trying to go through things that we already know. They're kind of official, basically. So yeah, I think that we said everything overall. I mean, yeah, in a week, the DC universe, the gates of the DC universe will finally be open with the Creature Commandos. So let's hope that Creature Commandos will be, at least for a lot of people, a good start to the DC universe. Because even though the Superman movie is going to be a big one, let's be honest, Creature Commandos is so far the main event to see if it works or not. Also, before I finish this this episode, I just want to say that I like the idea how when James Gunn said that there's gonna be like a balance of types of projects they're gonna greenlight. For example, James Gunn already confirmed that there's gonna be a few R-rated projects in the DC universe, and I really love that because when you look at the Marvel, almost everything is almost PG-13, and for the DC universe and James Gunn, it's gonna be basically a mixture of everything. Because not everything has to be rated R. I mean, we both agree on that.
Yeah.
So I really can't wait to see what the rated R projects are those. But so far, with everything being said, my followers of darkness, here we are. We came to an end to another Shadow Council episode 20. I still cannot believe we went this far. Here comes the end to the future of DC universe. Like always, you guys know the drill, the tradition. Comment, like, subscribe. Giving us all your own personal thoughts about which DC project excites you the most. Are you excited for the Creature Commandos? Are you excited for Superman? Your own personal thoughts about the point of view of this universe of James Gunn. Everything in the comment section down below.
Who's your favorite host?
Do me a favor and yes, vote for TK. Okay, do me a favor. Just do me a favor, guys, and vote for TK. So he can be all happy. Go to sleep with happy dreams and everything. I mean, come on, just do me a favor and do that. Yeah, But anyway, stay tuned, guys, to a next upcoming Shadow Council episode. And like always, I'm your host, Lord Shadows, signing off.
DK out.
As always, later, fuckers.